I'm Danielle Fitzpatrick-Clark, CEO and co-founder of Influence Builder and Entrepreneur City Live Events, and this is the Influence Builder podcast and radio show, Speakers Edition. Attention speakers, coaches, authors, consultants, influencers, innovators, and mission-based entrepreneurs. Your powerful platform creation and lead generation domination starts today as we unlock the secrets, uncover the tactics, and get a peek behind the curtains of some of the greatest minds in the industry for speaking, online marketing, leadership, transformation, social media, and so much more. You're already the expert in your industry. Now it's time to simplify, amplify, and intensify your message, impact, and influence so that you're the go-to expert that everyone is talking about. Stay tuned for the inaugural episode where you'll learn top marketing strategies, expert advice, and scaling tactics for wherever you are in your speaking business. Hey everyone, Danielle Fitzpatrick-Clark here. I am the co-founder and CEO of Influence Builder and Entrepreneur City Live Events. And today, this is our inaugural, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, podcast episode, Speakers Edition of Influence Builder. So what we're going to talk about today is something that not a lot of people are talking about when it comes to the speaking industry, which is the marketing of it. And we're talking about pull versus push marketing. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about that and how it relates to being a speaker and an expert and an influencer in the industry today. So you may be wondering, what is push versus pull marketing in? And it really deals with traffic. So as a speaker, yes, we absolutely go out there and we find speaking opportunities for us and we get in front of hosts that way. But there's also marketing tactics that are being employed that are really successful for speakers out there so that they're not having to work so hard. And really being a speaker, it's a tough industry right now. It's tough to get out there. It's tough to be known. It's tough to find paid speaking gigs. It's tough to find free speaking gigs. So what are some of the things that you can do so that you can grow your speaking career and, make a decent revenue stream too for it? So I'm going to just talk about some of the marketing tips, such as push marketing and pull marketing. So push marketing means that you are trying to promote a specific product to an audience that you find relevant. So in the speaking industry, push marketing is actually when you go out there and you talk to hosts and you send applications and you put it yourself out there. You put yourself in front of the host to get a speaking gig and to get paid for a speaking gig. That's push marketing right now for speakers. Now, pull marketing, this is where you implement a strategy that not only draws in consumers, which is your host and audience members, towards your products, but it also creates a following. It creates a tribe. So what I'm finding in the industry right now is that the push marketing, it's not working quite as well for speakers, where the pull marketing is much more effective. So I'm not going to do a long talk today. I just want to do a quick one and give you guys some ideas on how you can start employing some of the pull marketing strategies rather than the push. And don't get me wrong, push marketing strategies for speakers, it works. People who go out there and put their one sheets in front of people, put their video media pages in front of people, they get on stages. I'm just going to talk about pull marketing today so that you can start implementing some of these strategies to make your life easier, to make being a speaker easier for you, and to kind of disrupt the marketplace a little bit now, where everybody is pushing their speaking reels onto people, where let's try something different, where you're pulling people towards you, you're pulling hosts towards you, you're that go-to expert in your very specific niche. So for pull marketing, you absolutely need the things that you do during the push marketing, which is you need a media one sheet. You absolutely need one of those. One of the other things that you're going to want is you're going to want some video of you on stages. People want to see that you've been on stages. You're going to want testimonials, not just from hosts, but from audience members who witnessed your last speaking gig. And of course, when you're getting that information, make it relevant to the people you're trying to draw in, to the hosts that you're trying to draw in. By that, I mean, if you are really looking to get on stages for in front of entrepreneurs because you have products for entrepreneurs because that's just where your passion is, then it's not as effective to put out a video on your media page where you're talking to um, corporate or financial advisors or talking about something specific to that industry. So you want to make sure that you're very relevant with who you're trying to pull in, because you're going to pull in more of those people. If you put out a talk where you talked about finances to financial advisors, you're going to pull in financial advisors. If that's not where you want to go with your speaking, then that's not what you want to put out there, so that you're pulling in that audience. So that's one of the first things. You want to be very specific to the audience and the host and the events you're trying to attract into you. Um, the other thing with pull marketing is that, yes, you need some of the same things. You need the media stuff. It's where do you put it? Where do you put it to get in front of them? And with pull marketing, you get to do a little bit of market research. Not a lot. You don't have to do a ton, but knowing where the hosts of the events that you would like to be a part of, where they hang out, where they look for speakers, that's where you want to be. So of course, you've got your materials, you've got your videos, you got your one sheets, you're ready to go. Now it's time to find those that target audience of hosts, and of course audience members, because the thing with hosts, being a host myself, is that we listen to our audience. In fact, that's where our market research lies, because one of the difficult things is to get people to come into an event. And one of the best ways to get people to come to an event is to listen to the feedback from the audience members that will come. So if an audience member suggests a speaker, then you better believe, as a host, I'm going to go and talk to that speaker. It's just like, hey, listen, I heard that you like wowed audience members at this last event. I'd love to talk to you. So that's another reason why you really want to connect with the audience members and the host in the space where they're looking for speakers. And just know that it all has a wonderful trickling effect. So how do you do that market research? How do you figure out, where are my hosts? Where are they? And social media, this is why social media is so great. This is why digital marketing is so wonderful. It opens up so many more opportunities for speakers. So think about it as I like to think of it as like circles, kind of like Simon Sinek has his circles, the how and the why and all that stuff. And it's very similar in, like, okay, so your smaller circle, you're in the middle. You're in the middle. Let's just put you in a little dot in the middle, and then you've got a smaller circle outside of you, and then you got a bigger circle outside of that, and then another one. It's kind of looking like a bullseye at this point. So who within your inner circle, that smaller circle, do you know hosts, or it could be an audience member that you could put your stuff in front of, or that you could at least do some market research on? Who do you know that's a host? And when you know that, then you can understand, okay, hey, this person's in my inner circle. I'm going to just do a little creepy cute stalking on them. I call it creepy cute because then it lessens the power of that it's stalking. But internet stalking, like, where is it that they hang out? How are they communicating with speakers? Do they communicate with them via their Facebook group? Do they communicate and meet these guys at larger events? And that's where you can really kind of understand. You can even reach out to them just like, hey, I noticed that you have a live event. Where do you find your speakers? I'm just curious. I'd love to be considered as one, and I know that maybe I need to do some more research to do that. And hosts are usually pretty great. Like, oh, well, I go to other live events and I watch them. I watch and see what they do, and then if I like the fit, then I approach them. That could be one answer. But this is where it's really simple, and there's nothing wrong with asking hosts. You don't have to. You don't have to just send them your stuff. You can ask them, how do you look for speakers? How can I be considered next time? Most of them are very happy to tell you. So that's kind of that inner circle. People that are closest to you, or people that that know host, that's where you want to talk to them. After that, your next circle, the next bullseye circle, for finding people, is that, who do you know and who do they know? So hosts usually stay together. They usually know each other and talk to each other and give advice. So if you are talking to a host and a host is in your inner circle, then you get to ask, hey, who else do you know? Because I'm really trying to understand the industry. Who else do you know that could be a great referral? So that would be the next That would be the next outer circle of people, is the referrals. And then outside of that, you've got your bigger circle, of course, for your market research and your hosts and your audience members. And that's where you're going to do a little more digging. You can look on any social media site. I actually prefer LinkedIn right now for a lot of different reasons, but I'm finding that there's more of a professional um, influence on LinkedIn. So people who are really doing bigger things, that are taking their business seriously, they're on LinkedIn. So that's a great platform for me to go and find other hosts. And it's usually something as simple as, I'm a host, they're a host, like, hey, you want to connect and just, talk about it. Talk about your last event, how did it go? And it's that kind of a conversation. Now, if you're coming into this as a speaker, um, keep in mind that this is a cold call. This is a cold reach out. So you can't absolutely just send them your stuff. In fact, that's a surefire way for me to like never consider you if you're doing that as a speaker and coming at me and just like, oh yeah, this great speaker. Here's my video and my website. Go check out what I'm about. And I nicely respond to people and say, that's wonderful. Listen, I really am swamped. Don't have time to go and check your stuff out. I said, but feel free to see who my speakers are, see what I'm all about. I've got a lot of stuff out there. And if you've got an interesting topic that I haven't considered and that you're saying I'm not considering, let me know. Let me know what you come up with. And that's usually how I approach people who come at me and send me their one sheet or send me their video reel, is that I can't consider them. It's too much work for me. I'm already bombarded as a host, and really that's usually the first introduction I get to them. There's no, hey, how are you doing? There's no like taking me out to dinner, telling me how great I'm doing. There's just like, here's my stuff. And that's push marketing, by the way, too. But pull marketing, and a way to get a host to really, and if it's a cold, and this is when it's a cold reach out, a way to get a host interested in what you're doing is to first talk about what the host is doing and what the audience needs, and that kind of a communication. So anything that you're doing for cold reach out, get to know the host, get to know what they're doing, get to know what their mission is. This is their platform, after all, that you're asking to be a part of. So knowing what they're up to and what their audience needs is essential. So that's kind of how you can do that market research, and you can really dig into that a little bit more. And this goes for stages, this goes for podcasts, this goes for radio shows, it goes for television shows, Facebook Live shows. You want to employ the same methodologies and the same approaches for no matter what kind of speaking opportunity you're getting. So that's another tactic with pull marketing. Um, and then, I think the last thing for pull marketing is you got to be visible. You have to be visible. And that's not pushing. If you're putting your stuff out there, if you're talking about what it is that really makes you tick, the thought leaders, right? The thought leaders, they run on thoughts. They have a new idea. They're putting it out there. They're boosting their posts. They're putting their posts out there on all their social media sites. Which, by the way, LinkedIn is great if you're doing live videos. Get your videos up on LinkedIn. This is where Facebook was like several years ago. This is where influencers are being made right now. But that's part of it. Put it out there. And then, of course, have a very direct call to action when you're putting your videos and your information, your content out there. You have to have it. You say, hey, my name is so and so. This is what I do. This is who I help. Here's how you can reach me if you want more information on XYZ. So that's kind of, that's a great tactic for that pull marketing. People are attracted to that. And the other thing is like, make all of your content, no matter what platform you use to put it on, like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, make it shareable. Make it something easy that they can share. Simple is better in these cases. Profound messaging, profound call to action. That's what it's going to be, and invite people to share it, and they'll willingly share it if you're really hitting on point. So whenever you're putting out that content, again, kind of going back to the first, is that you want to make it specific to the stages and the hosts that you want to get in front of and the audience that you want to engage with. So that's what I have, a little bit of information on push and pull marketing for speakers. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to schedule a call with me. If you're looking for more digital marketing tactics and other ways of getting on stages without you having to do all the work, we do have a wonderful mastermind that we are launching here in about 6 weeks. And it is for speakers that are really looking to bring in multiple revenue streams with their speaking gigs, with their business. And they're struggling with ways of how to do that. They're struggling with how to find stages, and they're struggling with how to get known as the expert they already are. That's what we help with the mastermind. It's the Action, Influence, and Impact Mastermind. It's 6 months. It is amazing. Set up a call. Let me talk to you about it and what we offer. You're not going to want to miss one of my calls, and at least know that there's something out there very specific to you, because I haven't seen anything like this yet. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and click below if you want to go ahead and schedule that discovery session. Okay, bye for now, everyone.